A lot of people come to me talking about how their partner has rejected them. They've broken up with them and they've said, it's over, I'm done, there's no point in trying. A lot of these people give up on the relationship. They've taken what their partner has said on face value and they've said, what do I do? What's the point in even trying? Unfortunately, I think that a lot of people miss the point in why your partner has to reject you before there's any chance of reconciliation. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why your partner must reject you multiple times before there's any chance of reconciliation. And I'm going to break down the mindset shift that's required to understand why your partner is rejecting you and how to turn this into a positive and the foundation for reconciliation. So, I get it. When there's been a breakup, a divorce, a separation, and your partner has said, this is done, it's over, there's no point in even trying. I get that feeling and that worry of, well, if that's what they're saying, then that's it. What more do I need to know? Like, why would I continue to pursue this relationship? At the end of the day, you don't want to upset them. You don't want to put them in a difficult position and you don't want to make things worse. So I understand why you take this at face value, but there are many reasons why your partner needs to push you away, especially when a breakup, separation, or divorce is fresh. And I also understand the discomfort of being rejected. At the end of the day, no one likes to hear rejection. No one likes to hear no. No one likes to hear, look, I'm done. I don't want to be with you anymore. So I get feeling that you also want to avoid getting constantly rejected over and over again. So I can understand why it would feel so tempting to simply walk away, to give up trying to change, to give up trying to ever repair any hope within the relationship. But understanding why your partner needs to reject you right now is going to be crucial for any chance of repairing a relationship. The first main reason is this fear of emotional pain. If there's been difficulties in the relationship and your partner has felt this hurt during this time, when they have built up the courage to finally break it off and walk away from it, this is a way of them avoiding further hurt, further emotional pain. And this is the thing, is that if your actions have caused pain and difficulty within the relationship, when you have faced up to it and you have reconciled with what you've done and are starting to make changes in order to avoid that in the future, that doesn't necessarily mean that your partner is ready to reconcile that within themselves. They still are wanting to process their own pain before they understand why you've done it. So when they're rejecting you, this is a way of them stepping away from potential more hurt, right? Trying to maintain and keep an emotional distance to protect themselves from this pain, or maybe even rejection themselves or hurt. They have this fear. If that they open up and they talk about their vulnerability and their feelings, this is going to lead to more pain. So rejecting you, rejecting the relationship, keeping this distance feels like safety. Because if your actions have caused damage towards emotional safety, then keeping this distance is their way of creating this safe feeling again. It's kind of like a shield against further hurt. But they may also be feeling some guilt or shame. They may feel bad for pulling away, but they can't really help it because they want to have this space where they can process their feelings. And based on recent actions, probably predicting that they're not going to be able to do this without enforcing some sort of space right now and rejecting you. But the main thing to understand during this time is that subconsciously, your response to their rejection is going to prove or disprove whether they were right to walk away. There's almost a test of your commitment. So this is what's known as commitment signaling. So this is not some conscious thing. This is not some test that they sit down and plan out. But our brains are wired to test and to prove or disprove our own theories. We're looking for evidence that we are correct, that we are valid, that we are right in the decisions that we're making. So commitment signaling is behaviors that people can use in their mind to verify whether what you're saying is true, whether you are truly changing for the sake of changing and wanting to improve yourself, or if you're trying to manipulate them back into a relationship and your changes are not going to be permanent, they're just going to be temporary. So during this time, they're going to feel a lot of doubts. They're going to worry that you might give up once things get tough. They don't want to go through that again. They may feel insecure and they may need some proof through actions that you're not just saying nice things right now. By rejecting you, again, it's not some conscious test, but subconsciously in their mind, your response to this rejection or multiple rejections is going to show to them whether they were right or whether there may be some doubt as to whether they made the wrong decision. And this is why it's so crucial how you respond when you do receive rejection. Are you just going to give up and walk away and say, okay, well, screw you? Are you going to become toxic? Are you going to, swear, get angry? Are you going to try to logic them into the relationship? Or are you going to take the time to show that you understand why they're rejecting you right now, whilst also still being strong in your commitment to change? And again, I want to be very, very clear about this. This is not some conscious test. This is not someone manipulating or trying to get you to prove yourself. But as human beings, we are always looking for validation within our decisions, our ideas. So ultimately, they're looking for signals that you are committed or you're not committed. Because as of right now, they are rejecting you because they believe that the promises you made, the decisions that you made, the way that you held yourself is going to continue. They're looking for that evidence. They're looking for that evidence that they were right to walk away from you. So when they do have gaps in between conversations, or they're just not talking to you at all, it's not necessarily that they're looking for you to brute force your way back into the relationship, but they're paying attention to how you respond. Do you respect their space, or are you still bombarding them with pressure texts and calls in order to try to get them back into a relationship? But another reason why they need to reject you during this time before there's any chance of reconciliation is because of this emotional conflict, this cognitive dissonance that they have. Cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort that we experience when we hold two contradictory beliefs or emotions in our minds. For example, loving you, but feeling hurt by your actions. That is what a lot of people go through during a breakup. This is where people can say, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, which is where they hold care and love for you, but I don't want to be with you because of your actions. When they reject you, they can still think of the good times, the nice times, and the good parts of you, but know that there are parts of you and actions that are difficult to reconcile with. They can hold these conflicting ideas in their mind where they have these mixed feelings, and this can lead to a lot of, hot and cold behaviors where they can see potential in you, but they don't want to date potential. They want you to be the person that you say you are all the time. They don't want to date who you are in 6 months, right? So this is why they need to reject you, because unless they see that you have changed and they deeply feel that you have changed, not where you could potentially be, then this means that they don't want to be with this version of you. And this may be hard to hear. A lot of people can get upset with this idea of their partner or ex-partner not being attracted to them. A lot of people get this idea in their mind of like, well, if they're not attracted to me as I am right now, what's the point? Screw them. And, I have this conversation with people sometimes where they are like, well, it upsets me that my partner sees that I'm flawed. And then I ask them, well, do you see those same flaws? And they say, well, yeah. And then it's like, so you see your flaws, your partner sees your flaws, you're both on the same page. You both are in agreement with your flaws. Now it just becomes a matter of what are you doing about it? So if your partner is not wanting to be with you right now because of your flaws, and you see these flaws and you don't want to work on them, is it any wonder why they don't want to be with you, right? But if you're wanting to work on them and you're showing and you're taking action on these flaws and things that you want to improve on, then you can have confidence that over time, your partner will see these changes, because these changes will be very, very evident. So at this moment in time, your partner needs to reject you because they're feeling anxiety. Their mind is jumping between hope and fear. They've not seen enough evidence that you have changed and that you are going to continue to hold on to that change. And when it comes to having these confused feelings, where they're sort of seeing good parts and seeing flawed parts, they can struggle to decide whether to stay or leave. So their mind is going to default to, as of right now, I'm going to say no, because in the past I said yes, hoping that these things were going to change, and I was proven wrong. So as of right now, until I see hard and fast evidence, there is no chance of reconciliation. So this is why when there's feelings of confusion and your partner is rejecting you, whether it's subtly through ghosting you or, agreeing to talk and then backing out, hot and cold behaviors, understanding what your partner is feeling right now is going to be crucial to have any chance of reconciliation in the future. Because ultimately, what is happening is that your partner is needing real change. And this is needing to see radical accountability. So accountability is acknowledging your past mistakes and demonstrating genuine effort to change these problematic behaviors. So a lot of people that I speak with before they become a member get in their mind that they say, well, I've taken accountability. I've told my partner I screwed up. But taking radical accountability is not just saying I screwed up. Anyone can do that. In fact, that's the easiest thing to do. If you've screwed up, saying you screwed up is the bare minimum. So the reason why your partner is rejecting you before any chance of reconciliation is because they need to see that you're not just saying things. You're not just saying, yeah, I screwed up. Sorry. They need to see that you are demonstrating genuine, true, deep effort to change these behaviors. And until they feel that, the words that you say are going to be very, very hollow. And again, this may not feel good to hear, but you've got to understand their skepticism. They have a lot of doubts that you've really learned from these past hurts. So they're going to feel very, very guarded, and they're going to hold back until they see proof of growth. And this is something that a lot of my members have found, is that the old ways that they used to use was by taking accountability verbally, by saying, I'm sorry I did this, I'm sorry. All this sort of verbal, logical reasoning of taking accountability. But the shift that the members have found that is really crucial for the relationship, and the turning point when your partner starts to see your changes and actually have hope in the relationship, is when this accountability is shown in actions. So you're being accountable for all your actions, whether they are around or not. How you show up day to day, what you do when no one's watching, is crucial. It's very easy to say words. It's very easy to take verbal accountability. But if you are living change and you are living radical accountability for yourself, and you're owning the outcomes of all of your decisions, that is very, very difficult to fake. And this is what your partner will feel from you. So if you're, for example, let's say with your partner, you're speaking very nicely, you're being very calm, you're being very collected, you're being very smooth and easygoing, and you're saying, look, see, I'm so chill now, I don't get angry anymore. And then you shout at a waitress or something like that, or you're livid with your family member on a phone call or something like that. It's impossible to hide that forever. And that's why changes and accountability need to be deep within you. You need to live and breathe it, because if you're not, and your day-to-day actions are not matching up with the words that you're saying, then your partner is going to see through it. At the end of the day, if you've broken trust and you're continuing with the same actions with other people, and your actions only change with your partner, but not with other people, not with your day-to-day life, that's not taking accountability. That is not living and breathing your beliefs. This is changing your behavior for one person. This is changing your behavior in order to persuade one person to believe in you. And this is why your core beliefs impact everything further down the chain. If you aren't living and breathing the things that you say you are to your partner, then ultimately they're going to see through it. And that's why when trust has been broken and they are needing to see deep changes, if they're only hearing words and they're not seeing it in everything that you do, this is why they need to reject you. They need to say no, because they can see that this isn't really truly you. It's you making surface level things until they come back, and then ultimately the real you will come out, because you can't fake it forever, and things will go back to the way they always were. And this is one of the turning points in working with my members is, yes, learning relationship skills is crucial, but what you believe, the way you show up day in, day out, and the accountability that you hold yourself to a higher standard, if that isn't there, it doesn't matter how well you learn to communicate. It doesn't matter what words you say. It doesn't matter the promises that you make, because if you're not living and breathing change and growth for the sake of growth, then it's going to fall on deaf ears, right? So your partner needs to see that things are truly deeply changing within you, not just in order to get them back. And if you do want to join the members and I and start leveling up in a real way, in a deep way, then join my Relationship Bootcamp, where you'll learn the same steps and tools that all of my members start with in order to start repairing and growing their relationship from the ground up. And every single successful member of mine started on this bootcamp. So if you do want to join us, just click on the link in the description to grab your spot. And, this may sound very deep and very heavy and sounds like a lot of work, but ultimately this is work that we need to be holding ourselves to a higher standard to in general. We should always be looking to raise our standards and not sort of slack off. The more that you are living to a higher standard, the more that you get good outcomes in life, the more that you start to raise the way that you show up and be deliberate with how you show up for the people in your life as well as yourself, the more that growth happens. And as a result of that, the more that your partner sees and is inspired by your growth, if they're seeing you taking accountability radically, the more that influences the way they want to show up as well. And this is why when your partner is rejecting you, you have to still be able to show up in the right way, not fall back to your old habits. Because as soon as you fall back to your old habits, then that's it. It's proven that you're not living and breathing that change. And that's why it's so crucial to change your internals as well as the external things that you do, like communication and things like that. I've actually done a deeper dive on raising your standards in a relationship and how crucial it is, not only for repairing a relationship, but for leading a relationship in the right direction as well. So I'm going to leave you with that deep dive video, and I will see you over there.